Hi, welcome.
Hi.
We have a short list of demands, and we'll let you get back to your lives.
They will be met.
Oh my god. So, you know, we've talked about how much we've improved the studio, and we said, nah, we hate it.
Just throw it all away.
Going back
We're just going to throw a flag in the back.
Yeah. Oh my god, no. We, for some reason, decided to drywall this space, and the sound sounds weird.
Yeah.
Funny? I don't know. I can't tell. But yeah, we finally drywalled. We wouldn't have known if we didn't tell him, but we drywalled the ceiling, and so the whole studio is a mess, and it's all taken apart. And we weren't even going to do this stream tonight, but Tyler was like, no, the people
demand it.
They need it. They demand it. So
what were you doing 10 minutes ago? I'll tell you what we were doing, setting up cameras in a rush and setting up a
first
stream.
time in a very long time, since like January, right?
How is audio and everything? Like I said, it's been a while. Like we're used to just flipping on switches and everything's ready to go.
Right.
So,
We got a little used to that. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, we got spoiled.
So yeah, please leave a comment down below if we sound good. I know we look good. We can see ourselves.
For
over
sure.
there. We look good.
I don't look as good as you
the lighting.
guys.
It's okay. It's not a competition. It's just, you know.
Well, PT's gonna make me sexy.
You know what though? You do look good because where have you been going?
Beyond Driven.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
I can
I've
tell from here.
Oh, thanks, dude.
So what's
Yeah.
your favorite part about Beyond Driven Fitness, Ty? Now that you've been going over there, I mean, you see up on the board there, they have all the different programs for members.
They have a lot of programs for members. I haven't really taken advantage of them because it's just you and I going there and hitting it.
Is that like classes and stuff? Or
They have different classes.
Yeah. Challenges, classes.
That's cool.
They have a lot of different tiers of membership as well. So if you sign up, I think it's like $154 a month. You can sign up and you can go to unlimited classes.
That's
So
really cool.
As many of their spin fit classes and as many of their. That's one example. Another example is it's $40 a month if you want unlimited 24/7 access. So
That's actually very reasonable.
that's a very reasonable price. With you know, everything is very expensive these days. We understand that, but
Especially for 24/7 access. That's
24/7 at your own convenience.
And I like how it's like Planet Fitness has that whole, it's a non-judgmental area. You don't really have to say that in Beyond Driven because it's just there. And I like that it's like a mom and pop. Like,
I was gonna say, yeah, like
that's a nice feeling.
not to talk shit about like Planet Fitness, but it's like it's non-judgmental because it's like it's soulless. There's nothing.
Yeah,
It's just like it's a room with equipment in it.
Everything
So it's like,
looks
how could it be
pristine
judgy?
and clean,
Right.
and I don't know. I like Beyond because it's definitely like
They have a
it's like coming
community,
here.
like, yeah, super cool.
Yeah, awesome. We also have another sponsor, obviously.
The legendary.
The one, the only, Arms Preservation Inc.
Amazing.
Who are now sponsoring Freedom Weekend, so I really love you
those
guys. Thank you
100%.
for that.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. You guys know about their ammunition and firearms storage bags with their patented vapor corrosion inhibitor technology. Very strong Velcro. I like the aesthetic of the blue.
Yeah.
It's sharp.
Although it would be cool if they had other
Plastic.
colors one day.
Is that something
wonder,
they can
like,
do?
What's,
Is there a
do they
Yeah,
have
could
the
they do like a red
technology?
or
I think those guys are likely in the chat. A lot of times they'll be here if they're not doing.
Jason's over there like, no, what
Stop!
are you talking
Stop!
about?
Shut up!
Yeah.
Pull the sponsorship!
not
Pull
have
the
the
sponsorship!
Decidedly not. So who
But no,
knows?
excellent stuff. You spend a lot of money on your firearms, on your ammunition, and on your other accessories.
100%.
And, you know, we might not live, you know, down in Florida, you know, with a Salt Life sticker, but we still, if you have your guns in the basement, if you have them, if you just keep your firearms in the foam, like in the box that they came in, like you are hurting your firearms.
Please don't
very
do
badly,
that.
Right?
Don't do that.
Take the extra. I think the most expensive thing API sells is like $25.
Right.
Yeah.
Their biggest bag that you can fit the Barrett 50 cal in.
For a
like,
$3 to couple $1,000 rifle.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Like it's a no-brainer to me.
100%.
So, yeah, you can
Take
get them
care
here
of your
at the
stuff, guys.
firing pin,
Yep.
and you can get them on their website, and you can have a lot of fun.
You can also get them. Well, other places too, but I was going to say Escarpment Arms. But you can get them at Escarpment Arms.
they're at a lot of local businesses.
And you should, which is I think is awesome too, because we all kind of like support one another. But also Escarpment Arms, Saturday, Ty, I want to hit real quick on the skirmish.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this coming Saturday, guys, we have right now. It's a relatively small turnout. I'm a little bit bummed about that. maybe you guys can help, right? So the New York State Tactical Games Tactical Games Skirmish is what we used to call it. Now it's New York Tactical Games Training Days.
Nice.
Because that's a new brand.
That's what we talked. We were talking about this the other day through text. Like I was asking like when the next Tactical Games was and blah blah blah. And I had thought that this Saturday it was all about like competing, lifting heavy stuff, and shooting. And you had told me I was wrong. It's more about like getting used to wearing your gear, getting used to how the Tactical Games is run, the training. It's like training for the Tactical Games.
Yeah. So the training day, kind of the whole methodology and the mindset behind it is to give everybody a small taste of the training or the Tactical Games experience. Excuse me, but also to provide it in a more safe and controlled environment where everybody is kind of able to learn some basic skills and also some of the safety components that are specific to the Tactical Games.
Sure.
Right? So
there's a lot, not to interrupt you, but there's a lot just beyond, and this is true with any discipline. If you go to a USPSA match or an IDPA or any of those, cowboy action, there's the stage that you're shooting,
right,
and then there's everything around that. And not to diminish the work, the shooting is certainly difficult, and the physical side of it, those are all difficult. But just showing up, if you've never done it before, if you don't have a mentor like Pat or someone that can guide you, you know how to even going into so much as I have my plate carrier. How do I set it up? You know, I'm not a veteran. I don't know. I didn't have a sergeant. You know, and when you were a PFC, you didn't know either. Like you had NCOs coaching you. You had people helping you. Yeah. So I love that this is the direction that you guys in the Tactical Games have taken of, you know, opening up. Not that it was restrictive before, but
it's intimidating.
It was intimidating. If you weren't in that, you know, mindset or in that industry, I guess, so to speak, already. So I love that, they're
absolutely
opening up their arms and they're making it super more accessible, because this is something that you should, you know, if you were not that we have to be a serious gun owner or a casual gun owner, but if you want to increase your skills and really put yourself to the test
and get proficient with your equipment, like start to understand the
be more well-rounded, I guess. Yeah.
You gotta have a way to measure some of those things, and so this isn't necessarily the measuring stick that we're going to use, but this is the way that we kind of start to develop an understanding of like what gear goes into it, what are the requirements, what are some of the safety standards that we have to adhere to, and then how does all of this stuff kind of work. And this particular weekend, we're going to focus predominantly on some pistol stuff, some rifle to pistol transitions, some positional shoot. That's what I started to say, was positional shooting. Yeah. And various things like that, barricade work, and some shooting from various canted positions. There will be a mini stage in there. We're going to shoot the March live fire challenge for the Tactical Games, and the April live fire challenge for the Tactical Games as well. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Is that
something that where like you are now competing, like a live fire challenge? Sounds like it's.
So yeah, we can actually go. I should get on after this and share the link. But there is actually, you can go to the New York, or you can go to the Tactical Games website or Linktree, and they have on there their live fire challenges. Every month it changes. You can print out the target.
Super cool.
And it tells you exactly. They also have physical fitness challenges.
That's cool.
So yeah, they're really trying to expand the brand.
It makes you feel like a whole community, you know.
Well, they want it to be, you know, accessible. So if Paul wanted to get in the mix, you know what I mean? He could. Sure. He doesn't have to jump in on his own and kind of, you know, sink or swim. It's kind of like, hey, this is the programming that we want you to, or that we have a sample of, and this kind of just gives you an idea of something you could potentially do. So
I love it. You know, we got some people saying hi. James,
what's up, everybody?
Saying hi. Good evening. No drinks tonight. Yeah, Tyler, selfishly, he made sure he was taken care of. He's got a drink over there.
If you missed it, we were rushing so hard to get all of this set up.
See, Pa.
Hi, Paul.
I don't know if this is like okay to joke about, but like I had made the joke that it looks like we're in a terrorist video. Like,
What's this live stream's name tonight?
Yeah.
I mean, these are our demands.
These are our demands. Thank you for segueing that. I do want to talk about live stream names in a few minutes.
Sure.
There's a couple extra little sponsors I wanted to call out. We had a pizza sponsor tonight, and I really wanted to thank Jason Johnston for that. Thank you for
Super cool.
providing us pizza.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
That's so cool.
I love our customers. We get taken care of so well.
We are absolutely
People are
blessed.
so nice to
Yeah.
us. Like, it's...
Sometimes I wonder, like, did like an employee die that I didn't hear about? Like, did something happen? Like, why are we getting so
There's
much
like
food?
6 of you. I hope I would know.
What happened? Yeah, right, I would know.
Wait, where's Tyler? And then another cool viewer, not that you're not all cool, but Caleb. Caleb's in chat. He's our Cintas rep. And we were just chatting the other day, and I don't know, I like when he's usually in before the shops open. I'm blasting some weird music, and I don't know, he's
nothing
cool.
strange there. Yeah.
Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you for joining us, and I appreciate everybody from joining us, really.
It's very cool.
So, we got to come up with a name for the stream.
Yeah.
We've been calling it the Firing Pin Live. I like that, but I don't know. If you guys were to think of a name, if you're watching, can you guys just kind of drop some names? And
That'd be fun.
I'm not saying it's going to be the thing, but I just want to see what other people are thinking.
We put this out. We've been talking about it. We put the live stream out as a podcast now. So obviously, if you're watching this live, you're seeing it on Facebook. But Facebook's not the best as far as a catalog, like a repository of all of our live streams.
Sure.
You have to go through every single post that we make. So
And we don't get monetized off of Facebook.
Sure, right. So we're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on...
Spotify's going to be the best for us, if you have that.
I think that's the best platform, too. Like, it's the easiest. And I naively thought when we first started uploading them because we keep calling them podcasts, it's kind of what they are. But the video is still there on Livestream. Like, it's not just audio. When you go to Livestream, Tyler has uploaded this entire thing. You'll be able to see the video and everything. I think that's pretty cool.
Pretty.
We did get a couple questions in here. Michael asks, what is our favorite lever gun caliber? And I'm going to have to say 4570. That's, to me, I know a lot of people enjoy having, and I did at one point too, I went through that phase of having, like a 44 Magnum lever gun and a 44 Magnum handgun, right? And it's a cool cowboy-like fantasy, I think we all do. But yeah, if you're gonna have a lever action, like go big, 4570. That's my. Do you even know what a lever action is, Pat? They were guns back in the day. You had to manually.
No way.
You had to make the gun. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah,
they weren't always.
They didn't. No, you youngsters are spoiled.
That's
the guns that work themselves.
man.
Recoil and things. Yeah,
The
Brother
future
fighting
is,
brother.
The future is now.
it is truly incredible though. Like when you think about stuff like the Wright brothers at Kitty Hawk to landing on the moon. Right. Like that era of time, like that difference there is incredibly short. When you think of late 1800s, John Browning out hunting in the fields and shooting a shotgun and seeing the grass move in front of him and being like, there's energy being wasted there. And that, if again, from the late 1800s to like when was the M2 Browning designed? Like the mid 20s, I want to say, or like the teens maybe, like right after World War I.
Yeah, they didn't implement it until World War II.
But like it was there, right? That's such a short developmental time to go from like all we have are lever actions that you got to operate yourself to now you've got Maxims and the potato digger and all that kind of stuff. Just crazy,
wild stuff.
Crazy. Yeah,
I think 3030 is probably my favorite lever gun caliber.
Nice.
It's a
solid
classic.
one. Yeah. Yep.
Everybody that makes lever guns probably still is making 3030s, and they're still killing deer. So I think it's pretty cool.
I love both of your options. 4570 is amazing. I like that you can hunt anything you want in North America with it.
Hell yeah.
3030 is just, again, perfect for hunting. It's good for defensive, but I love 357. For some reason, 357 just...
Nice.
357 is nice.
It's a good one.
I don't have kids yet, but I
one.
want to teach my kid on a 357 lever gun.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
so gentle.
Yeah, I have a 3030 bolt gun too, so that's probably why I like...
yeah.
There you go. We had a comment from Todd, very impressed, as was I and all of us, by the letter that we got from Claudia Tenney, our congresswoman in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
We're in the 24th district here in the firing pin, which I think it's like everybody but Monroe County. They're in like their own. Right. I don't know who it is. I should know. But yeah, Claudia is our girl here in Bergen. And for a lot of New York State, Western New York anyways, it goes all the way up to like Fort Drum. It's like all of like Central and Western, besides like Buffalo and Rochester, it seemed like in the Southern tier. But anyways, she sent us a letter, dear friend, which I'm sure she says that to all of her constituents, but
She calls it
dear friend, she was outlining how she is defending our Second Amendment rights down in Washington. Obviously, a lot of them are being taken by like New York State at the state level. So I know she's being a politician and she's sending, what did it cost her to send a letter out? Like,
Sure.
Whatever. But I have not remembered any other time in the 9 years we've been here where we've gotten a letter from our congressperson in Washington or any type of support like that. So we got that letter. I posted it in our Facebook page a couple days ago. I made a post. So you can go check that out. Yeah. And when we got that letter, I called her office. And, you get the intern on the phone there who probably just gets bitched at all day, every day. And I was like, hey, I got a letter from your office. And I just wanted to say, thank you. And I think he was surprised to hear some thanks for once. But yeah, I was like, we don't get this kind of support, ever at all. So even just this simple gesture, which I know, she probably sent out 50 other letters to 50 other groups that same day. It meant nothing to her. But to us, it meant a lot. And I just thanked him. And I was like, hey, is there a way to get her, and we're getting a lot of comments that we should invite her to Freedom Weekend, which that is the goal, and I can't obviously control what her schedulers schedule her for, but we have been in contact. The requests have been made, so I was like, hey, we'll take anything. I mean, even just another letter of some kind, maybe a little bit more, personalized or whatever, specifically for our event, would be great. Or if you could send some staff, or obviously if you can show up yourself, that would be amazing.
I think it would go a long way with the people that support us if a politician actually came here.
It really would.
And,
where your
they're able to
voters.
voice some concerns.
Right.
Yeah.
We're abandoning. Tyler, that was our the talk we had with FPC. But I think that's what really resonated with them is that and we've heard it. I've said it, and I know because I can hear you all when you come down that we feel abandoned. I mean, the NRA has abandoned us, and a lot of the gun groups. I hate to disparage Scope, but I feel like a lot of us were really behind Scope, and then just nothing happened, and it's been a very difficult 10 years as a gun owner in New York ever since the SAFE Act was passed.
For sure.
Already 10 years.
There was it's been 10 years, and now just this past year, 2022, my God, the reactionary laws that were passed out of
post Bruin,
out of jealousy or what's even just spite. Anger, spiteful laws.
The
passed.
only way I can think of it,
no, you're 100% right.
Yeah,
and they're just an attack on your rights, and for all of the people, we've always said, obviously gun rights are for everyone, but they need to be protected the most for the at-risk people in society, the underprivileged. Any type of group that, I'm not going to get into a whole, I'm not going to say the W word, woke, or what I did.
Yeah.
But let's just say,
I'm not going to say this word,
the people that they are trying to defend are the same people we are trying to defend. There is no us versus them, which they I keep making an us versus them argument, but, these politicians, these downstaters, we're all after the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just the methodology. We couldn't, I guess, disagree more on.
Right. The Chamber of Commerce meeting we were just at, I was talking with some guys, and they were asking about the laws and how hard it was. And the best way I kind of explain it is every time I'm thinking about a gun law, I put it in a frame of my family. I grew up with a single mom, and that's who I look at. How hard is this for a single mom to arm herself? There shouldn't be barricades for some mom trying to defend her children.
Right.
And that kind of put it across to them about how hard it is in New York.
For sure.
I'm with you, Anthony. I definitely want to hold her feet to the fire and, make sure that she's standing up for, all those groups. Because again, we're friends, we're allies of all those people, and those are the oppressed people. If you look, we've said it 100 times, if not 1,000. Like New York laws, gun laws specifically, are racist. Like the reason that they exist and the implementation and everything about them is racist and classist. And until we can get that to change, we are all under the boot of oppression.
We could say that same thing about a lot of the revenue generating laws and policies. Like who do they really affect? Ultimately, more than anybody, they affect people who don't have very much money, right? Who don't have money to pay into that system, unfortunately. So,
Brian Odachowski comments that he remembers, and I don't remember, personally, but I've seen the accounts from people saying that Kathy Hochul used to be relatively pro-gun, used to go to gun clubs to, garner that side of the vote.
Back when that was relatively acceptable.
What was it, local Hochul was kind of her whatever slogan or unofficial. I don't know if she liked that term or not, but I think she tries to play that card. But now you can see she sees where the money is. She sees where that Hunger Games elite is over here in New York City, and who cares about?
Well, you got to line up. You got to line up behind those people if you want to get their support.
The second
when you want to move up.
Yeah.
Right, and ultimately, that's what she wants to do. Is she wants to move up. So that's
you stick a toe out of line, that toe's gonna get cut off.
That's the game that she's playing, right? So, Ty, do we have some questions, comments, concerns? Looks like we have some.
Brandon's been doing pretty great at reading them off.
Yeah, we're pretty.
I saw you were taking
caught
some.
I was messaging Josiah. We have a little chat.
No worries.
You guys are doing your thing. We're doing our thing.
10 feet away, but they gotta.
Oh, good. Meanwhile, we're all trying to do the same thing. So.
One thing I'm excited for is we were talking about racism in the gunverse, and it's not set in stone yet, but we're going to do an interview / stream with Polly from Rafa, and I'm very excited about that stream.
I like that.
Rafa is a great organization.
Tell the people that don't know.
So Rafa is the Rochester African Americans Firearms Association, and I'm
not living at that.
I was like,
Andrew says I'm kind of intrigued by these demands. He saw the title. Sorry.
Listen, that's the demand. So Rafa. I'm curious to see how Polly would describe it. The way I see it is, it's co-ed, so it's a brother and sisterhood, and it's getting training in the black community with firearms. And I was listening to Polly talk the other day, and he was saying that the news paints black gun owners as really negative, but even in the black community, black people with guns is a negative stereotype.
Sure.
You close your eyes and picture a white guy with a gun and a black guy with a gun. A black guy with a gun is typically painted negatively.
Sure.
And personally, as a guy behind the counter and that has watched Rafa grow, I love that that's what I'm seeing change, is that whole stigma of a black guy with a gun is negative, because it's not. It's no more negative than any one of us defending ourselves and our family. Right. So I think that's a very beautiful thing that's happening before our eyes at the pin.
And it just slaps all those in the face, going back to the 1968 Gun Control Act that sought to curb minorities from owning firearms for self-defense.
Right.
In the 60s, there was a lot of civil unrest. There was the civil rights era of protesting and stuff. And, there were people who, hey, the law says that we can carry a gun to defend ourselves. And we're people just like you are now, so we're going to carry a gun to defend ourselves. And everyone's like, ooh, we like our Second Amendment, but not like that. Not if they can do it. And it's this pearl-clutching,
I try not to
across
swear
the street.
on stream, but fuck out of here with that.
Seriously, yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So
I try not to swear on the stream. I hate having to check the explicit box.
Former college athlete Dwayne Whitmer is with us, which I love. He's not a current college student, but he is a current athlete now.
I've seen him get tactical.
Yeah, he's a former collegiate athlete.
He's a tactical athlete,
and
in the current.
If he signed up, he should sign up for some classes
Dwayne,
over
Saturday. Tactical games,
where you at?
Why no?
Oh, I gotta do people's taxes, probably.
Oh, taxes. Isn't that done?
Do them between stages or whatever, right?
Isn't that done at this point? Jeez.
Are you represented?
Just like crunch time.
I listen to your live
I don't
streams.
know. I already filed mine, so.
What are I don't pay my regular taxes. Just love that meme of the dog cutting down the barrel of the gun, like $200 for a short barrel. Like, I don't pay my regular taxes. It is tax season. That's just stop procrastinating. Just do your work. Like, I don't know. I don't know why you're not doing this back in, whenever. So Rich Chapman made a very nice comment that I'm going to read. He goes, "Hey guys, I'm down in Saratoga County, and I'm trying to drum up energy and support in my area, clearly for like Second Amendment rights and activism. And he's actually in like an 11 county area. It sounds like that he's trying to drum up support. This isn't necessarily the right forum, but he's wondering if we could chat at some point, which we can 100%. He says he was thinking scope was the right way to go, but now after our criticism, it raises a light bulb. And I am so torn because we were a huge scope.
We're not trying
supporter.
to bad talk scope,
right? I don't like talking bad about scope. We just, you have to choose who you can support and who you don't support. And we supported Scope for a long time. We sold their signs here. We were a meeting point. We did a lot of stuff with them. And it just, I don't know. They're just...
I can't attach their name to any victories at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me to say what have they done, I can't put my finger on one. Now, maybe they can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they're not doing a great job of publicizing that.
They get 90% of the way there, I guess. And like we're salesmen, not that we have to be, like we're not used car salesmen, but it's like I think they get 90% of the way there, they just don't close. Like they're good for they're out there in the public, they go to a lot of events and they raise money.
Their name's out there.
But then that's kind of it. They raise money to go to events and they raise, we've been targeting groups like New York State Rifle and Pistol.
Nice.
Which I know they draw some heat because they're the NRA affiliate, but they are still responsible for some of the most effective lawsuits against these laws that we have. And FPC, Firearms Policy Coalition, and Second Amendment Foundation, they're Gun Owners of America. There are several groups that, again, we're not telling other people not to support Scope, but we've just seen more success with these other groups, so we're supporting them. And I have told Genesee County Scope, and I've told representatives from Monroe County Scope, if you guys come to me with solid plans of we want to raise $10,000 to hire a lawyer to do this, I will back it 200%.
Right.
I will support any kind of efforts with goals in mind.
Not just raising money to put money
right.
in a
we just can't do it anymore.
Right.
I just can't do it anymore. So
not just to have money.
I think Firearms Policy Coalition is huge, and I think that could be even bigger in New York State soon because of the Second Amendment rally we're putting together, which I would love if we could all promote that as much as we can.
Right.
Freedom Weekend is growing beyond Freedom Weekend, and kind of like how we talked about naming the live stream, in a sense only because the firing pin, if you don't know us already, the firing pin doesn't mean anything to you. Like if you just saw that on the Spotify list versus, like I pitched maybe like the firing pin, a Second Amendment podcast, or just something, TFP Live, 2A talk, or something like that. If you tell people what it's about more.
Sure.
And same with Freedom Weekend. Freedom Weekend just kind of means nothing. But Freedom Weekend is a Second Amendment rally. So if we can make that connection, and I would love to see, I don't know what made the Virginia rally that I went to. I don't know. I know they were trying to pass some laws and people wanted to put a stop to it. And it was going to, it was built up to almost be like an Alamo type of situation for gun owners. And I'm not saying that that's the situation we're in here now. But when was the last time we had any type of event to show our displeasure with New York State gun laws? When we passed the SAFE Act, there were protests in Albany 10 years ago. And we've done nothing since.
And the industry thinks there's no gun owner. Gun ownership in New York doesn't exist.
Right.
So
Pat,
this is our chance.
You share your story with Larry Vickers when he came up. The gun culture is weak AF here in New York.
But it's not. I'm here daily. It's not.
But nobody knows that.
Yes.
And there's one way to show them. And it's going to be Freedom Weekend showing up and making that a Second Amendment rally where, hey, I'm not going to call for people to openly break the law, but maybe that's what we need is some open non-compliance. Some of us are pretty open about it now, but maybe we need, when we went to Virginia, there was 10,000, 20,000, 40,000 people there. Now in Virginia, everything we were doing was relatively compliant, I would say.
It's Virginia.
Because it's Virginia.
Probably pretty legal, yeah.
But, you know, we had an event where 40,000 armed people showed up, armed to the teeth. Nobody got hurt, and we picked up the garbage and we walked all home. You know what I mean? Like, it was as peaceful as any, you know, as moshing at the bug jar. Like, you know what I mean?
Stretch, but
you know what I mean. The jarheads know what I mean.
The other thing that tells me that the gun culture is sort of weak, though, is like the tactical games thing. Like, man, it is. The tactical games is really picking up steam in other locations, right?
Freedom fighters.
But it is very difficult to like get people excited about that stuff here, and that's why I really am excited about the fact that it's all uniform now, and it's really geared more towards teaching. Because we've had some people come out and like they were not really all that proficient in the gear that they had chosen, which is fine.
Sure.
And I get it, but it makes a big difference. So hopefully, you know, we can change that, and that's one of the reasons why I'm involved in the tactical games as a whole, is because I want to get more people on board with pro Second Amendment activities. So
Donna knows what's up. Donna loves the bug jar. She knows what's up. She goes, I love the bug jar.
All right.
Yep. Divide and conquer. That's what they're trying to do to us, basically. Brian made a great comment. It says, once we all begin to realize that all the manufactured division, class, race, sex, etc., is deliberate and part of the plan, the better off you will be.
100%.
That is very true. Yep.
Absolutely.
The only space that I have in my heart to judge someone is whether they carry a Taurus or not. That's the only room I have
Or
for
maps.
judgment in my what?
Or maps.
That they carry a paper map? Wait,
No.
what? Maps. Okay, well that's a totally different thing. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, remind me to
not
show
cool.
you something that I have on my phone.
You got to be careful.
That's a weird. Don't make that.
Yeah.
This
is live.
Segue. I don't know if you recognize this weird Kraut space magic thing, but yeah, we got a SL8 for rental. So we've always tried to get some cool premium firearms. I actually never knew it uses its own magazine. I don't know why I thought it was a Stenag mag like it should be, but does the G36 use its own mag? I think it does, doesn't it? G36 has its own.
It does, and that's even more proprietary. That's a very
This one?
that's a
Yeah, because that was
right?
single stack.
Right?
It's
Yeah.
Stupid and
very
Super
sad
weird.
magazine.
it
Well,
is a very sad magazine.
We got this thing in, and Wlaslak was like, we should make this our new marksman's rifle.
Even
And I was
this
like,
one
really?
is even more
Like, it's
for you.
a G36 kind of, but it's got
I
like a
got you
22-inch barrel, doesn't it, Josiah? Like, it's actually a very precise
It shoots nice.
rifle for what it is, yeah. But we haven't really added a cool, exotic, I guess I'll say, rifle in a while. We've added a lot of like the Ruger 5.7 rifle came out. You know, I'm trying to think of another. The Springfield Hellion came out. Like, that's not really that exotic, but you know, we get new rifles when they come out.
Sure.
But yeah, we had a distributor call us up, and we could get this, and it was like, hey, that's pretty neat. And I think that's a rifle that I don't know what retail is on one of these, like 25 hundo probably, like $3,000 maybe. I don't know. They're up there. It's not cheap. So it's a rifle that's kind of unobtainable for most people, but you can come down here and pay $35 plus range time and a box of ammo, and you can shoot it, and then you can shoot every other rental gun we have too. So,
I got something. I'm trying to get Brandon to get a new rental gun, and I need your help.
oh my god.
I need your help to convince this man.
Who wants to rent stuff like that?
Drop a thumbs up in the chat just so he can see the demand. I'm trying to get him to buy a saw. I want a saw,
Who would want that?
and I want to convert it into a machine gun.
Who would want that?
I want to rent a machine gun saw on the range, and he needs convincing. Help me show him that this is something we need.
Oh, you have to
Okay.
twist my arm so hard. Oh no.
But we have to, like, seriously, we have to put a mount on the floor, and it has to be mounted to the floor for most people to shoot it.
No, standing.
They're just spamming. Thumb, 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 thumb.
Okay.
Just a thumbs up. Just a thumbs up in the chat.
It's your range, buddy. You do what you want.
Thumb, 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 thumb.
Yeah, thumb.
I can't see those thumbs.
Why not?
Those thumbs don't show.
We're getting...
They're going bananas with the thumbs.
Are those monkeys? How do people do monkeys?
How do people do monkey? I can't see any of those.
How do they do that?
I wish I could see those, like...
It's the phone app thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Who is that? Oh, you guys are killing me. That's fun. So, yeah, we've been toying with the idea of getting, you know, some more
cool
machine guns. Yeah, some cool stuff. And I think it's just time. You know, it's time to...
At least some SPRs and stuff.
Right. We've always just kind of played it safe with... like, we've got machine guns, and you can come down here and rent them. We don't really advertise that a whole bunch, but we finally just decided to, you know, screw it. And we're going to start advertising it a bunch. There's a range down here in New York City that advertises the crap out of it, that they do it. So it's like, hey, like, you know, why can't we do it? Yeah, and you call around, and people, you know, will tell you, well, you can't do it because of this, or you can't do it because of that, but... I don't know. The way
Sounds like a commie to me.
I think
we've always kind of just done first and asked permission later, you know. So we're gonna run it, and we're gonna see what the people. I guess my arm has been twisted. Enough people have said we should get it. So we're just gonna have to get it. I guess.
I'm telling you.
How do we? We just get a link. We just get a linker. Just an ammo.
3D printer go
Did you ever
brr.
have to do that? Link ammo?
Yeah.
It'll just come linked already when you used it?
Well, yeah, that too, but yeah, I have put ammo together with links just to do.
Sure. Sure.
How hard is it? I've never actually done it.
Just snap together, it's fine.
So, the week before Freedom Weekend, I can count on you being here till you're bloody in the
Yeah,
fingers.
I'll
just
show
linking.
you. I'll show you how to do it. And
There's like a machine, isn't there? There's like a thing. There's like a little press, like a panini press, isn't there?
I don't know. I've never.
Oh,
I've never.
did
No,
it?
it's not. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, when Pat did it, it was because the Army needed him to keep busy.
Yeah, it's because I was being a fucking asshole.
It's either that or paint rocks.
Now
over
you're
there.
gonna have to.
Yeah, we're definitely explicit.
I just said one bad word.
Rich asks, does SIG offer 10-round mags for the 365X macro, or do they need to be pinned? They got to be pinned, right? Yeah, at least for right now.
Yeah.
It's tough, and we've said this before. As the laws keep getting tighter and tighter and tougher, it's going to be interesting to see what manufacturers still support New York and their bullcrap. You know, when a lot of the rest of the country is loosening gun restrictions and making it easier and more acceptable for widely, you know, owned things, common usage items, right?
Yeah.
There's only, say, like us in California and Delaware and Massachusetts, maybe. There's only a handful of us that have to deal with those restrictions. So, I mean, there's plenty of companies that don't offer those because they don't care, you know. And
Right.
if they offer, it's not like they can just, oh, that one's going to go to New York, like open the box and take those out and throw it. No, like it's a whole new SKU. It's a pain. It's crazy.
No, it's true. Like, you go on the distributor website, it'll be like 100 of a gun with regular cap magazines. And
Yep.
like, there's like 3 10-rounders.
Right,
available.
right, yeah. So, yeah, sorry about that. John Voigt, is that a Garand in front?
Close.
Similar, M1A. You really can only tell by the magazine and the muzzle device on the front, and I guess the wood stock is slightly
The stock
different.
is tiny.
Yeah, and this has got the shoulder thing that goes up.
Ooh, not the shoulder thing that goes up.
Diane Feinstein hates that thing.
She's
Shoulder
afraid of
thing
that.
goes up. I think it's interesting they
Probably break her arm.
I find it interesting that they keep that design on there because you only need that if you're shooting this thing full auto, I would say, right?
Right.
Just file it.
Yeah, right. That's got to be an expensive piece, though. That little buttstock with the
Seems
shoulder
like
thing
that would
goes
cost
up,
a lot
like,
of money to
versus just
make.
a
And
Should we
standard.
this out naming full people on here?
What's that?
Should we just do first names?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I've been thinking about that. Like, wait a second.
Probably.
We're doxing
Yeah,
people.
you know, I mean, could be.
You join the stream, you consent.
I mean,
Do you? Did you sign the waiver?
But when they comment on there,
But on Spotify, it won't show. Not yet. One day when we get
well,
a
you're gonna have to
a
go
computer.
through the audio and delete or beep.
Scott, that's great to hear that you love the 43X. I don't have an X, but I carry a 43 myself, and I really like those. I like them a lot. Tyler dropped or someone, either Tyler or Josiah, somebody dropped our Linktree, which is a cool little service that we have. It's almost like a digital business card where it has all of our links, and you can join or listen to the podcast after. You can find the Spotify link. You can find our Facebook, our YouTube, all that. It's all on there. Merch.
A new way to support the stream if you want. Obviously, it's not mandatory. And I won't even tell your wives how you've heard of Linktree other than us.
John says he's not hiding anything here. Come, send whoever. So,
okay.
No.
Cool. So while the IRS will be there, I'm putting your address.
Yeah. Oh my god. So I called the post office today to start doing like some mailers and stuff, like every door direct, just mail that we wanted to do. And so I had my little one, my 9-month-old Emmy, on. She's like fighting, trying to take a nap. She's like whining and like making all these sounds and stuff. And I'm like on the phone trying to do business, and he starts laughing. And I go, yeah, I got a little one here. She wants to help. She wants to be a part of the business. And he's like, oh, she's gonna have to wait a few years. I was like, yeah, she's gonna have to wait like 18 years, 17 years before she's like, allowed to help or whatever. And he's like, child labor laws are ruining this country. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we could move out to like where didn't one state just like completely like gut all their child labor laws and like
I don't know.
There's like some state out west like
but I'm for it.
Idaho or Wisconsin or one of those where they're just like, yeah, like. We can't get kids to work in or you can't get anybody to work in the mines anymore. Like,
unless it's the Congo.
Literally though, like they like completely. Somebody in the comments mentioned who it is, but if they know, but yeah, the guy was just like laughing on the phone that like, okay, yeah, like, well, I work for the post office. I'm a mandated reporter. Like, I have to call CPS now that you have children working for you. Like, had a very fun talk with
the children yearn for the mines. Minecraft is so
seriously though. They pay to. Well, that game's free, isn't it?
No.
What?
Minecraft's not free.
I don't know.
You're so old.
I don't know how it works. I just go on LimeWire.
I just play Fortnite.
LimeWire.
I just LimeWire it.
How's your computer doing?
Yeah. Rest in peace to all of our computers that are dead from LimeWire.
Yes. What else we got? We got Freedom Weekend coming up, June 10th and 11th.
Yeah.
And like we have said before, that is going to be an incredible time.
Giveaways.
Yeah, if you own a business, if you know somebody that owns a business, if you're part of a group that
if you want to give out hugs,
if you just want to show up, you got some crap, you want to do a yard sale here, who cares? No, please don't do that. But yeah, any kind of group, association, club, vendor, small business, whatever you got.
What's the matter for you?
I got something. Keep talking.
Bring it. Come on down. We do not charge for vendors to set up, although we are still taking sponsorships. We have several amazing sponsors so far. One of our premier sponsors is RPO, not the Philharmonic Orchestra, but Rochester Precision Optics.
They're always hiring, and that's kind of the big thing they're pushing is that, RPO, they're doing careers. And
they've got good jobs, good local like engineering jobs, and all sorts of stuff, marketing, production. They're seemingly always, like you said, hiring, and it's a sweet gig, and they're making some cool products. There's a lot of military and military industrial complex stuff that's made in Rochester, a surprising amount, and that's one of our highest sponsors, RPO, again, a multi-year sponsor of Freedom Weekend, which is super cool.
Yes.
The Tactical Games, New York Tactical Games.
New York Tactical Games is a sponsor. Yep. Yes, we are. We will be here.
Yep. Thompson Builders, which are, we were just driving back. We just joined the Rochester, the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce, rather. And we were driving back, and over by the RV dealers, like on the 490 on the way here. They're building another Myers RV. Like they've bought and sold like 5 times, it feels like, over there.
Right.
And I saw Thompson, like they're building everything out here. I mean, they built all of Liberty Pumps' expansions. They're building, the new Myers like RV.
I see their trucks all over the place.
Thompson Builders, they're just killing it.
Taking over the
we've
world.
got if you're coming in from out of town.
Hey, I know that guy.
Scott made a great recommendation. There are hotels right in Batavia, 11 miles away, And I think Brockport is about the same, 10 or 11 miles away. The hotels in Brockport, I've been told, are very nice because it's like a college town, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of use. And Batavia, there's some great hotels in Batavia too. So easy.
Sure.
Yeah, Brockport, 8 miles away. Thank you, Marianne.
Sure.
6-pack of Jenny if Pat slams his thumb in the Garand. That sounds painful. I have Garand thumb to myself. It's not worth it.
But here's the problem.
Maybe a 30
is I wouldn't have the 6-pack to drink after I Garand thumb myself.
He'd commit less alive.
And then I would have to drive. See, all of this is... No.
I have some news.
If the
Todd,
6-pack were here...
also, Todd,
we
that would be
do it.
amazing if you came and gave out tourniquets.
Okay. I'll see you guys later. It's fine. No,
Was that what you were going to say?
no Todd's
Oh.
great. Keep talking about
What do
Todd.
you
So Todd and I were talking the other day.
Yeah.
He kind of wants to do some kind of like first aid class. He wants to do a lot more first aid classes. And
do
I
it.
totally agree. Like
Yeah.
anybody that wants to do that, please. Todd's
Yeah.
great at it. I
Todd
don't
can
know how we're
plug.
gonna do it.
Todd can plug a bleeding hole on me anytime. Continue.
I think
What?
I'm just gonna look at you for a minute.
What?
not mad, I'm
We're
just
gonna try like maybe a class, and he can just give out some free tourniquets. So I think that would be cool.
That'd be great.
I would love to have Todd come in and do some stuff like that.
You plug your bleeding holes.
That was a Brandon. I do not endorse anything of the kind. I like all of my blood in my body, and I like
All of my
other
holes
people
unplugged.
out of my body.
Okay, stop laughing. This is serious. We have a new website.
What?
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 What? Hold on. Hold on.
Like a new.
It's live. I just posted. I just sent it.
What? Is that how that works?
NYTFP.
Do that?
I hit enter. Yeah.
What? Oh, okay.
What?
It's our new website. It looks so good.
That's cool.
Mitch LeClaire and his team killed it at Evolution Marketing.
I don't know if he did it himself, buddy.
I said
but
him and his
no,
team. He and his team.
I won't do that.
Yeah,
Might have, though.
the website looks amazing. So that's our new website, nytfp.com. And I don't know, it just feels good. We've grown so much as a company since the new year. Like branding, new website, the stream has gotten bigger. I'm just feeling so good lately. I've just been feeling really good. Just Freedom Weekend is a big stressor of mine because it has to be big. It has to be the biggest we've ever done yet. And I'm not going to sleep until...
June 12th.
Yeah.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it, buddy.
That's not plug that anytime.
I appreciate it.
Looks like Brian's gonna try to corner the hotel market for Freedom Weekend. He's only 11 miles away too, so
All
we're
right.
gonna have people camp out at his
There you
hotel.
go. I love it.
House,
Do it.
house-tel. And Steve, you know, that is a very good point, and I've really wanted to think about a shuttle. Not just for Freedom Weekends, but we've talked about doing a shuttle to like U of R and RIT on the weekends too, because like there are so many college kids that want to come down here and
Yeah, they do love
you
it
know,
here.
The transportation can be a hard thing. Getting like they'll spend like $60 one way in an Uber
Right.
to get down here, and it's like that's hard. But yeah, Steve, that is a very generous offer, and we will have to see. I hinted at it last live stream, and I was meeting with the landowner today. We're potentially buying some more land just because of the parking issues that we've been having here lately. Like, Pat, you know how it is, like on a busy Saturday, like it can just get, like there'll be cars out to the street here. Like it's nuts, just on normal days. And then, sometimes
wild.
you're doing a class or for sure Freedom Weekend. It's going to
Freedom
be
Weekend is
ridiculous.
nuts. Remember the skirmishes a couple times when we had those out here? People had a hard time finding. There's been a bunch of times when there's parking issues.
And Brian asks a great question for you, Pat. Are you running any ladies classes soon, specifically like an intro or a beginner ladies class?
I don't have anything on the calendar right now. It's one of those things that keeps kind of getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. I don't have anything on the open enrollment side, Brian. I've been doing a lot of one-on-one kind of stuff. I would really like to get some open enrollment stuff going. One kind of obstacle has been the range being reopened on Sundays.
That's kind of my bad.
Well, I mean, it is what it is,
on
man.
that
Like
side.
we gotta make money every way we,
Sure,
everybody's
sure.
gotta.
We could adjust, though, I guess, like, we're always hesitant to do stuff later, but maybe Saturday, because the range closes at 5:30, like, I don't know.
There's opportunities.
5 to 9 or
I
whatever.
think there's opportunities out there. The other thing that we could do is we could start the class earlier and have the range open a little bit later in the day.
Sure.
On a Sunday, you know what
Sure.
I mean? So maybe, because we don't do maintenance every Sunday, so if the store typically opens at noon, we do the class starting at like 8, and then
Sure.
we're off the range by like 2, and you know what I'm
Until the
saying? You
range
can
starts
have your
getting
stuff
busy.
back.
You say build another range, I'm going to slap you. No, what'd you say? What was that? Go ahead. The floor.
We can get some
Floor acknowledges.
So we need to convince
outdoor
Brandon of another
situation
thing.
happening.
Just drop a thumbs up in the chat if you want an outdoor range at the firing pin.
Who wouldn't want that?
Y'all wild.
I do want that, but
It's gonna be hard. Underground. Let's just. How far do the Russians get?
dig.
1 mile?
Let's just dig.
the monkey thumbs up just killed me.
Get a combat engineer. We'll just dig.
How far do the Russians get? Is it a mile?
Brian
Right?
said-
Digging straight down?
What?
Like, how much land do you own under your land?
You gotta account for the angle, though. That's the problem. That's the hard part.
Just dig straight
You
down.
gotta keep.
And then we'll just stand on the edge of the.
arrows.
Well, I mean, who else is down there to tell you?
Well, don't ask questions you don't want all the answers to.
Lizard people.
Yeah, you don't know. Hollow Earth theory, man.
Y'all
Don't
wild.
open that.
Hillary Clinton. I've said too much. I've said too much.
Well,
Is that a helicopter?
are you?
Did you hear that?
You're not gonna kill yourself, right, Brandon?
Well.
Just declare that now.
Oh, buddy.
Thank you for the compliments on the new site. I worked very hard on it. I didn't. I asked other people to do things for me, and they did it, and they did really well. So, no, I really do. I love it.
It is hard though.
It's
Like
super neat.
I always hate like when I mean Phil is awesome, Phil Casper, because he's a gun guy and he understands our vibe or whatever. But it is hard. Like you meet with the website people or you meet with like a designer, and they're like, okay, what do you want? Oh, like make it good, make it look good,
Make
like,
better.
I don't know, like
The nice thing about Evolution Marketing, Mitch's other company, Mitch does API, our sponsors. They're gun guys. He's a gun guy, and almost everyone on his team is not. I wouldn't say they're like they own guns and they use guns, but they're not like anti-gun, which is
Sure.
always a fear of mine working with a new company. Like, all right, can I even work with you being in the firearms field?
Right.
Which sucks. A right you have is going to bar you from using a product.
no one, said anything, or I didn't feel that, but there's always that anxiety. Like even tonight at the Rochester Chamber of Commerce stuff.
That's why I don't want
it
to
was
talk
like-
to people. Like,
They were like, hey, hi, Brandon, I'm John, or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh, what do you do? And he's like,
do?
oh, I'm a photographer. And it's like, oh, I own a shooting range. And a gun
you
shop.
shoot things,
And
I
it's like-
shoot things.
Right, yeah. It's just a, sometimes it's a dynamic, and sometimes, we always try to stay very. I mean, everybody has political opinions, and everybody has personal beliefs and stuff like that. I'd like to think that we're very welcoming and open of all that type of stuff. Like, yeah, as long as you're here to enjoy firearms in a positive manner, like we kind of leave
Yeah.
everything else at the door.
Sure.
Please.
But there is somewhat of an implied, political affiliation almost.
Oh, you like
which-
guns? You
which-
must be a conservative.
Right, which I don't like, and I try to, not that I try to be, like against that or whatever,
Yeah.
but I don't align with a lot of that stuff.
I
I'm
don't like
very
being- I don't
central.
like being put
I
into a
am-
box.
Right, same, yeah.
Depends on
same.
the issue. Like,
Same.
I would say we have a lot of way more liberal leaning people than you would normally see.
Yeah. Because we
or
welcome it.
Then a lot of people would associate with the gun
Sure.
community, right?
Right.
Because, yes, partly because we're welcoming, partly because of just where we live, but partly because we have a good reputation among their friends and family members, and they end up just getting brought in here.
Sure.
Sometimes, you know what I mean, they'll come along on a family outing. You guys know how it goes. But yeah, I mean, it is cool to see the diversity of people that we get here, as far as like some really conservative people or older people, some like younger people, or more like, liberal leaning type people, and obviously like ethnically diverse people, because
Yeah.
Buffalo, Rochester, all that stuff. So
There was a meme format that Anna wouldn't let me share because she said it was too wholesome. We would ruin it. But it was like an old lady walking down the street with like a very specific, like very
Yeah.
old lady fashionable coat that you would see like an old 80-year-old woman wear.
Sure.
And she's laughing and smiling at like Tyler walking down the street wearing the exact same coat, like clearly a young, like 20s punk bro, but he's
Machine
like
Gun Kelly
wearing the same, right, like just being fashionable and like super trendy. The exact same coat they bought at the same store must have been, and they're just like having this moment of laughter. And I wanted to share it when it was like, when you're at the firing pin and the 20-year-old, you know, kid has the same gun as the boomer or whatever. And there's that like moment of like, like, why are we like in any other situation in the world we would not be friends. We would not like I'd probably cross the street to avoid you or whatever. Yeah, but here we're all friends.
You're in my community. You're in my culture. Like, thank you.
So we got some awesome comments. Jamie said that, hi guys, I hope all's well with you. It's been a while since you stopped down to the shop. I've been putting in the good word about you though. I've had a couple friends that have purchased firearms from my recommendation. It's not much, but glad I could send them your way. You guys are great. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you so much.
Like I love that stuff.
Oh, it's literally what we live for.
That's why I wake up in the morning.
Vince says though, big sad, our online store doesn't work.
So
that is correct.
Big sad.
Yes, that's coming. So
like, I mean, to like our usual.
If you go to our old website, the online store works, and I can drop a link. There has to do something with, because our domain name is new and switching like the RSS certificate. Next week, it's all going to be synced up. I'm just happy to have the majority.
Google's got to go back there and move some things around.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank you for finding the one flaw on my website.
Right now, it works. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah.
I just clicked it and it didn't show up. But it's like, what'd you say?
I said I clicked it. It worked.
Did you go to the online shop or?
Yeah, shop online. And it goes right to store.thefiringpin.newyork.com.
Interesting.
Uh-huh.
So John, speaking of shopping, is looking for a red dot for a Stevens 12 gauge single shot.
You're gonna spend more.
Any recommendations?
Yeah.
True Glow. True Glow makes, unless you're gonna spend like EOTech or Aimpoint money.
Holosun. I'd go Holosun.
Even
would you?
Holosun, you're gonna spend more than the gun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna spend more than the gun, but go with the Holosun. $199. Is it the TC3? They're like they're tube, like just there.
403C has a
403C. That's it.
a low note, yeah.
It's like Glock. They're all so many different numbers.
You just gotta memorize.
Holosun is what I'd recommend personally.
I would even go cheaper than that for a Stevens shotgun, for something that is going to be durable enough for the application, but you're not going to overspend. Bushnell TRS 25.
That's a good one too.
Is it gonna withstand the recoil of a 12 gauge? That's my big fear.
I have owned 3.
Okay, that's
Bushnell TRS 25s, and I have used them on AR pattern rifles.
3 different ones, or I've owned one 3 times?
No, I've bought them and then they've been sold on guns that I've sold. Or one time I gave away one because I replaced it like with a different optic. Like I got a Holosun because I wanted green, and somebody was like, "Dude, I need a cheap optic, but like I can't afford." You know, he was like, "What's an optic that's good that you guys might sell me?"
Yeah.
And all we had was like out of his price range. And I was like, dude, I was going to keep this and put it on a different gun, and I ended up giving it to him. But then I went and bought another one.
So kind of you.
I've done a couple of little nice things like that throughout the couple years I've worked here. But yeah, I've been so impressed by those sites that I sold one, I gave one away, and then I replaced it with another one that ended up getting sold on a gun later. They're like $100.
Nice. We're getting a lot of love, Scott. Nothing but good times. The few times I've been there, super cool.
I'm trying to find this mag.
We have Ed? We do have a smokeless range, and that has been something that I wish we used more. I don't want to say that the technology isn't there yet. I haven't used like one of the super expensive ones. It's like $20,000 or $30,000.
I wouldn't even go that one. I'm waiting for VR to get better with, like, all it would take is like SIG or Glock to just portion off a little bit of their industry.
That'd be cool.
To go into like VR simulating guns.
I could see SIG doing that with the SIG Academy. I'm surprised they haven't gotten into more scenario based, like with law enforcement stuff.
They probably will.
I could see that as an evolution of it.
There was a few companies at SHOT Show. They were like the smaller sections of SHOT Show, but they were doing like, the smokeless range, and they were just like there were guns that you'd fire and they'd like vibrate, like it'd feel like shooting a real gun. And I don't even think they were thinking about that in the realm of VR, but just how good that would be for virtual reality gaming or training.
There's a couple different companies that have virtual reality stuff. There's a company called like Chimera.
But it has to be good. That's the issue.
I don't know how good it is, how good theirs is. There's another company that Haley Strategic uses. They have like a room. They have like a room and they project shit onto the walls and you can put whatever scenario you want. It's like 3D and you're using like real.
Have you heard about those houses that are doing that?
No.
So there, I can't remember where, but there's been a few houses that the rooms are screens now.
Right.
So you can live in a dump and just project like mountains. And
that sounds amazing. See, we can.
I saw that episode.
You can have whatever.
Seriously, that's literally what it's turning into.
I saw that.
At what point is the simulation becoming real?
Speaking of, I think I have to go home and do something with my spouse. So we gotta wrap this up.
Thick detail, please. What?
No, there's a television program that we're gonna. It's like an hour.
No, that's okay. We are. It is getting pretty late in the evening here, but yeah, Ed, we tried to get a smokeless range, and I don't know. Or I should say, we have a smokeless range system. We tried to like make that more popular than it is, and
we need a dedicated computer. Like
that is true.
You have to have a computer that's dedicated to running
like ready to
that.
run. Yeah.
It's got to be like ready to go all the time. You got to have more than one gun, because the cool thing is like you can do it with multiple different types of lasers. You can even use it with like the Mantis laser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was using it with the Pink Rhino laser and the Mantis like hooked up to my phone.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
You can use it because you set the timer on the smokeless range, and then when you draw your gun and press the trigger, you can actually see the dot projecting onto the screen. So it gives you some like immediate visual feedback from that. But you also get the impacts on the target as well on the thing, because you're using the laser to like. So you get to use, you can use your actual real gun
cool.
instead of having to use a gun
like
with
a SIRT pistol or whatever.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's what I was using it for. And it was neat for that application, but yeah, it's time consuming to set up, and the computer that we were running it on had some sort of virus, I think Ebola or something.
That sounds right.
I heard the bird flu's out.
That sounds right. That's funny.
Crazy
shit. Mike asks, do we have any tips on quickly clearing a double feed on a gun that has a fixed magazine?
Take out.
That's kind of one of those like good, cheap, fast. Like you can pick any two.
Yeah.
You can't have all three.
So it depends on the depends on the mag
and safely. Like
short answer, I guess, just remove the base plate of your.
Assume you're making an assumption that he has either a Lancer mag or an Amend 2 mag or a P mag or something that isn't a metal GI mag. Yeah. The problem is if you're using like a metal GI magazine, you're boned unless you have some sort of a tool that you can use to pry the floor plate off.
I can't remember where I saw this. I don't think it was Garand Thumb. I think I saw it first somewhere. Some guy here showed me. It may have even been you, Pat. I don't want to put you down. But you know the little paint opener tool that you can buy? Little like 99-cent thing? The Ben. I think I knew that from before then. But anyways, that tool is great. I know I saw a video of a guy who like he keeps on like not the dental floss type of rope, but like the super thin, you know, like dummy cord, right? Not parachute cord, that's too thick. But he keeps one like in his plate carrier, like tied to him, so he will never lose it. But actually, any kind, like in a ferry to extract, really any kind of jam on the AR-15, those little paint opening hook tools, they work mint for that. It's like they were designed for that.
I could see why that would work well.
But as you said, if you can floor plate out, that's the best way to do it on a fixed magazine.
Yeah, I mean, if you could just take the magazine out of the gun, you could just like unload the gun and reload the gun.
Like you should be able to. Yeah, it's crazy how that works.
Be free.
Do we have anything else before we get out of here?
I'm good.
Hit up our link tree. You can see all of our stuff. And
Subscribe to us on Spotify.
Yeah,
tell a
subscribe to us on
friend
Spotify.
to subscribe to us on Spotify.
Share it, maybe. That'd be super cool. I don't know.
Like it, share it,
Yeah.
comment on it.
Put June 10th and 11th on your calendar, and we'll see you.
Sign up for skirmishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Come
some
train
tactical games.
and
Do some
learn.
training.
Get your learn on.
Think about everyone that's getting their permit from this point forward has to take an 18-hour class, right? And I know everyone thinks they know everything about guns.
You don't.
But there is gonna be something
don't.
in that class. I'm not saying you have to take that class. You could. I'm not saying you probably shouldn't right now. Let new people that need to take it take it, right? But we offer so many different kinds of training, from one-on-ones to your mechanic classes to your the tactical games, the training days.
All sorts
there's
of stuff.
There's so many opportunities for training. There's really no excuse. And as much as I love people buying guns, if you already own a couple, 2, 3, even whatever, certainly if you're someone like some of our customers that own a lot of guns,
Right.
maybe hold off before you buy that next one. Like, when's the last time you took a class, right? That class will do so much more for you than another gun will. It really will. It really will.
I think even just to get you exposed to new ways of doing things and new ways of thinking about stuff and new terminology, and just to get you excited about, dry fire training and all of the different stuff that's current and that's new,
Yeah.
right? Because that's what
Austin said he just took a class with you on Sunday, and it was awesome. It was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, Austin, you did a great
said
job.
It was awesome. That's
Yeah, I
what
appreciate it. He was in the pistol mechanics class. He did an outstanding job. And, we look forward to doing more stuff just like that. So if you, want to train, we're here.
Yeah. No excuse.
Awesome.
Cool. See you, everybody.
Bye,
Have
guys.
a great night, guys.
Oh, now I understand what you've got to do with your wife.